हेलो गाइज, वेलकम टू माय चैनल CSE टेक सॉल्यूशन में। आज की वीडियो में बताने वाला हूँ एसक्यूएल सर्वर के ट्यूटोरियल में व्हाट इज ऑर्डर बाय क्लॉज एंड व्हाट इज ग्रुप बाय क्लॉज एंड हैविंग क्लॉज के बारे में समझने वाले हैं। व्हाट इज द ऑर्डर बाय क्लॉज? नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट द मूव द वीडियो एंड SQL order by clause. Whenever we want to sort the record based on the column sorted in the table of the SQL database, then we have to consider the order by clause in a SQL. Now let's the order by clause in a SQL will help us to sort the records based on the specific column of a table. This means that all the values sorted in the column on which we are apply order by clause will be sorted, and the corresponding column value will be displayed in the sequence in which we have obtained the value in the earlier step. Now let's start the using order by clause. We can sort the records in ascending and descending order as per our requirement. The record will be sorted in the ascending order whenever the ASC keyword is with order by clause. DESC keyword will sort the record in descending order. Now in order by clause, it is to sort the column according to ascending and descending order. Now by this command we can sort the column or sort the column according to column in a ascending order. By this command we can sort the column by descending order. Now let's move forward for the practical. Now let's first of all I have to select the database. Use database dbn my database. Now start select it is selected in my database. Now first of all use the select column name first student first name tab from a student order by first name. Now I want to AC ascending order. By this command we can show the all the data ascending order. In the ascending order, first of all you can see the, and these all are the coming the data according to alphabetic. It is ascending order. When I use the here the DESC command, DEC keyword, then it will sort the data descending the order. Now let's see, you can see the first of all coming the letter Y and V, and again you can see this B and A. It is a sort the column by first name, and by the order by it is so the data descending order. If I use here the ascending order, then it will show the data according to sorted order and lexicographically. Now let's move the next point. Now let's start the group by clause and having clause. First of all we have to understand the, before understanding the group by and having clause, then we have to understand the aggregate function. What is the aggregate function? Now let's move for the understanding the group aggregate function. Aggregate function, it is the predefined function to calculate the automatic data whenever it is used the aggregate function. Now let's first of all you have to, whenever you use the count function, then it will count the overall column, overall the row present in our table, and it is to return the integer single value. And first of all when it is run it, then it will show the number of column present in the data table, present in the table 5. Now let's move the average function. It is the it is get the overall data of the marks average and of the students, get the return the data. And now let's run it, then show the data average of the 83 of the students marks. Now move the for the maximum function, max function. It is get the maximum marks of the students, show the data. and whenever who the student get the maximum marks in a exam, any exam in each subject, then it will show the, when let's run it and show the data, it is get the highest 90 marks. Now let's move for the min function. It is return the data of the student minimum marks. Now let's move run it and show the data, and it is 70. Here the minimum marks of the students 60. Now let's move for the sum function. It is get the overall column of the data. You show the summation of the marks of the students. Now let's get the data and run it. Let's run it to this command and show the data of the students. It is a overall column of the data, overall of the column marks of the students. Now let's move for the group by function. Let's move for the group by clause. In SQL, the group by statement is used for organizing similar data into groups. The data is part further organized with the help of equivalent function. It means if different row in a precise column have the same values, it will arrange those row in a group. Then it will show we have to follow the three condition, and where it is write the where group clause, and or when it's come the order by clause. Now let's the select statement is to group by clause in a SQL query. Where clause is placed before group by where clause in SQL, and order by clause is placed after the group by clause in a SQL. It is come the after group by function, and where clause become the before group by clause. Now let's move for the syntax of the group by. First of all, we have to use here the select column 1 column, and here the use the aggregate function column 2, and from and here where condition group by and order by. There is the syntax of the all the group by clause and order by clause. Now let's move for the having clause. Having clause in SQL, the having clause places the condition in the group defined by the group by clause in the select statement. This SQL clause is implemented after group by clause in the select statement. This clause is used in the SQL because we cannot use the where clause with the SQL aggregate function. Both where and having clause are used for the filtering the records in SQL query. Now first of all, you have to understand the having and where clause, difference between the having and where clause. The difference between the where and having clause in the database is the most important question asked during in IT interview. Whenever we are going to given the interview, then it is most important to ask in our interview having and where clause about it. And now first of all, the following table show the comparisons between these two clauses, but the main difference is that the where clause uses the condition for filtering the records before any grouping are made, while having clause uses a condition for filtering the filtering value from a group. Now let's move for the having difference between having and where clause. The having clause is used the database system to fetch the data value from a group according to the given condition. Now let's move for but where clause is the where clause is used to database system to fetch the data value from a table according to the given condition. In a having clause, the having clause is always executed with the group by clause. But where clause can be executed without the group by function, group by clause. The having clause, the having clause can be include SQL aggregate function in a SQL query or a statement, but in a where clause we can't use the aggregate function with the where clause in a statement. Now first in a having clause we can only use select a statement with the having clause for filtering the records, but in a where clause, whereas we can daily in a where clause, whereas we can easily use where clause with the update, delete and select a statement. In a having clause, the having clause is used in the SQL query after group by clause, but in a where clause, the where clause is always used before the group by clause in the SQL query. In the having clause, we can implement this SQL clause in a column operation, but where clause we can implement this SQL clause in a row operation. Here it is the a next pointer having clause. It is filter post filter, but where clause it is a free filter. And having clause it is used filter groups, but in where clause it is used to filter the single record of the table. Now let's move for the now syntax of the having clause and group by clause. And now let's move for the practical of the having clause. Here the having clause it is used the select city account select city. It is a count the number of cities present in the evidence. And now let's count it. And first of all, let's run it command, and it show the number of evidence present in the this city, and one city this Chicago and Houston. It is present the number of belongs to the evidence. By this command we can show the data of the city of the students, which city belongs to students, number of students. Now let's move for the average marks using the having clause. How to here the having over here we have to get the average marks of the greater than 80. And now let's run it and get the data. It is a course chemistry. It is get the 80 marks over here 80, but in computer science it get the marks 85 over here 80. And now in the physics it will get the marks 90 over here 80. Now let's move for the how to get the maximum marks of the gender, which get the gender maximum marks over here 85. Now run it command, then let's see the it is get the female maximum marks of the 85 over here 85. Now get the male marks 90 marks of the over here 85. Now thank you for watching my video. I will meet you next time.